stream that I've done since we moved here. Guys, I am so freaking pumped. I know not many people are probably going to come out tonight. We usually do streams every Wednesday night, and tonight we are doing it on a Thursday night, which isn't something I intend to regularly do. But honestly, I am kind of thinking about it. I'm kind of like, maybe Wednesday should just be my day off when I do get Wednesdays off, and I just need to leave that alone. But I am really, really excited. We have new Wi-Fi. We have not Google. I almost said Google Fiber. We have Ripple Fiber, which is they only service in this area. So I'm really excited. I think that the streams are going to be perfect from here. I don't think we're ever going to have another issue. And if we do, this one's for you, Austin. Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good, Market? How we doing, Austin? Yo, what's good? TCG, PTCG, Pupune, TCG. I can't. Tell me how to pronounce that. But yo, what's good? Marvel, yo, what's good? I know, and the upload speed is incredible, y'all. It is incredible. Like that video was like an hour long. It would have normally taken me like 7 hours to upload that on the shitty Wi-Fi that we used to have. Whereas now, I can upload anything in like 15, 20 minutes, guys. I think my biggest problem has been Wi-Fi. I honestly think it's been Wi-Fi. Like, I don't think I need a desktop. I honestly think it's going to be perfect. Now, if we do have stream failure and the stream somehow dies out, I am going to buy a desktop. I will buy a nice-ass Apple desktop. I can start editing my videos and doing tacky thumbnails. I just feel like if I don't do the tacky thumbnails, it's going to be harder to get the views, but I'm going to try not to do the tacky thumbnails just because I just don't think it's really necessary. But yeah, I will definitely, for the streams, for the purpose of the streams, there is an Ethernet port here. It will directly connect to our modem. So up in this room, I could literally be directly connected so that it never drops out. But I don't think it's going to be dropping out. But yo, I appreciate you guys popping in. This is pretty cool. The first stream we've ever done in this house. It's pretty dope. Will we have a stable connection? That is the big question. Bro, this new Victini box banger. Yeah, how do we feel about the, I guess you're talking about the Black Bolt White Flare products. Who here, has anybody opened Black Bolt White Flare? I haven't seen anything. I haven't gone looking for it. I'm wondering if it's easier to get Black Bolt White Flare than it has been Destined Rivals. I also think we're going to have some massive reprints coming. I know people love to throw around the word reprint, but I just feel like, dude, they can make way more money reprinting more product. It's going to happen. Definitely interested to hear what you guys think about that. If you had a bad connection, I would have told you. If you had bad connection, I would have told you to move. Pupune, pupune. That's Italian. I can't do it. I can't do it. Jodo Jake in the building. Let's go. Larry, how we doing tonight? Austin, holy shit, your background looks amazing and very close to previous. It's close to previous, but I do like the fact that I worried less on the presentation this time. I was just like, bro, throw your favorite displays up, but like throw some slabs up too. Have fun with it. And I try to do that while also just recycling the old setup because honestly, I'm lazy. But I wanted to get back to making videos as soon as possible. I wanted to get my room back as soon as possible. And honestly, the Game Room 2.0 is kind of fresh. I'm still adjusting to the natural light. I actually like this lighting a lot more. This is, at nighttime, I feel like the colors are a lot more vibrant behind me. Also, the Gengar is just so perfect up there. You can never see it in the videos that I'm going to do. But when we do these streams this way, where it's vertical, you can see the Gengar, so that's dope. There's a lot more stuff that I wanted to throw up there too, but it's probably not going to happen. Turtle, what you buying into lately? Honestly, as far as modern goes, I don't know what to do. I'm missing a couple Sword and Shield slabs, alt arts that I really want. Bubble Mew, I still really want to cop Bubble Mew. We're done with the crystals, right? So that's really nice. We're done with that. That was an epic achievement that I don't really bring up a whole lot, but I have every single crystal. I don't have them all in PSA 10 or PSA 9, but a decent little mix. So that's pretty dope. The first edition Shinings, there's a first edition Shining Raichu right now. It's chilling on eBay. It's like 4K right now. It's kind of my sweet spot right there. I feel like I could go for that. Guys, I'm definitely still going to be buying stuff. I just need to really plan ahead, and I need to make sure I not only have a couple months of payments, but I also have money in my savings that I'm not going to burn through. So I have to budget now. I didn't have to budget before, but what's cool is I already bought most of the stuff when I had a very low cost of living. So my cost of living just skyrocketed, but I already have most of the stuff I wanted at this point. And it's not like cry me a river, okay? It's like I can sell a lot of the modern stuff that I've graded, like extra duplicate 10s, booster boxes. It's not like there are no options. I love whining about the current state of the market and how difficult it is to buy stuff. And I feel like a lot of people still feel that way. Like, you can make good money, and right now it doesn't do jack shit in this hobby. So I think that's also why Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be a really good place to start buying some cards. Bro, I wish I had some base set to open to celebrate. I'm feeling really hopeful about the Venusaur. I am feeling really hopeful about that. I would love, probably the next stream, we might crack open a semi-modern booster box. That would be kind of cool. Yes, I got ruined. 2 ETBs. Okay, so market open 2 tins. Comes with one of each set. Okay, that's pretty cool. But no one's saying they pulled anything dope. Let's see. Yes, I got ruined. James, yes, I got ruined. 2 ETBs and a poster collection. Only 1 IR and 1 full art. Damn, that's rough. Marvel, mini tins and posters are cracked. Psych, how we doing tonight? James, in my experience here in the good old Australia, there's a lot of product available on shelves. It's like pre-surging Sparks. Oh man, that would be great. Pokidoo, what are the top 3 sets you're investing in right now? Investing is the investment is a word in this hobby has been thrown around way too much. But if we're gonna just think, you are saying sets, and so that makes it easy, I would say Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals, I feel like no matter what price point you're buying at, Destined Rivals is gonna age really well. I think it doesn't matter how much of that is printed. It's too iconic. Destined Rivals is always gonna be remembered. I think Journey Together being one of the cheaper options makes sense to me. I think the artwork in Journey Together is fucking great. Prismatic I wouldn't touch right now, but maybe that's a good reason to go after Prismatic, because people probably are talking badly about it right now. Surging Sparks, I definitely feel great about Surging Sparks still. So yeah, I would say for right now, and maybe they'll print more of this stuff and we'll have a better chance of getting it. It'll be a slightly cheaper price than where it's at right now, because I think Surging Sparks is $1,500 a case. Journey Together I think is more like $1,100 or $1,200, but still better than $1,500. And then Destined Rivals sitting at $250 a box. What is that? $1,500 a case, $1,600 a case, like right out of the gate. So it's tough out here. I don't know about you guys, but I got my PSA magazine. I'll probably talk about this in tomorrow's video too, but I just wanted to bring it up real quick. And dude, I'm not big on One Piece, but fuck, One Piece art is sick. I don't even watch One Piece, but One Piece art is sick, and I would honestly, if I got into the hobby enough, I would potentially start watching the anime to get a better understanding of all the characters and a better appreciation. But like, Shanks is clearly a badass, and I didn't even look up the price. This card looks like it's fucking sick. Trickster, how we doing? Gold Star is hurting my heart in 2025. I feel that. How would horizontally look? You should dingle a pair for Gengar. Dangle a pair for Gengar. Yeah, we need good renters. I need good renters so that the cost of living would be good. And then we can kind of, guys, if we get the renters, it'll definitely offset the cost. I still will need to budget a little bit, but I definitely think 4,100 a month versus 1,500 a month are very massively different numbers. So like if we can get the renters at the other house, if we can't get the renters and I can't do that in time, selling the house may be the best option. I mean, I said for the longest time we're gonna rent. I'm smarter than everybody else, so I'm gonna rent, but it might be a pain in the ass to find renters. So we might have to sell the other house. And if we sold the other house, my payments would basically dissolve because I could just pay down this entire house. So, or most of it. I think we could sell our other house for very close to what we bought this one for. Actually, no. If we sold our other house, I would pay this one off because I already put the down payment. I'm not thinking straight right now, guys. But yeah, we'll figure something out. I would love to have more money though to spend in this hobby and be maybe a little bit more reckless. But also, I'm going to be honest with you guys, buying the Grail cards that I still want. That is the most important. I get those, then I go after vintage boxes probably, while simultaneously buying into modern product. But I just don't know when that's going to happen. It may never happen, guys. I don't know if the prices are ever going to me, seem feasible for sealed, which is why grading will probably always be a part of my new collecting lifestyle. Have you seen the 14K Chinese Mew I've been spamming your Discord with? Dude, the Chinese Mew is beautiful. I wonder what's going on. So what is going on with that Mew? Nathan Perry in the building. What up, boys? Farcars, yo, what's good? Nah, just keep it. Pay down principal, sell cars. I mean, that's definitely smart. George Gonzalez, how we doing tonight? You need to get an affiliate link for Graded Guard, right? Anyways, I do want to show this Shanks. I think it's pretty cool, even if nobody really cares about it. If somebody wants to look this up right now and tell me what they're going for, I would not be surprised if Shanks is going for a pretty penny. This card just feels like it's a premium card. I don't know. And he's pretty badass looking with that freaking samurai sword, the way the light hits this, and it's really well centered. I mean, even Turtle, I think, would be proud of my pick to get this graded. Guys, look at this freaking centering, y'all. Look at the freaking centering. Centering's really good, guys. Tell me I'm crazy. What, like, bruh. Centering is so good. I think this is just free. Not only is it free money, but it's a really cool collectible piece of history that you would only get through PSA. And like, I don't know, right now I'm like, dude, these cards are important. You need to start grading these and keeping them. There was another one I got with a really hot babe. It was Boa Hancock. That card was fucking sick. Guys, I think I'm becoming a waifu appreciation. I have a newfound appreciation for waifu is what my brain is trying to comprehend and say. Dude, right? And the Shanks would go well. It would go really well. Like the red hair and like a PSA label, like that would go really well together. Pretty sure my mailman keeps stealing my PSA magazines. Yo, Pokey Hideout, what's good? What's good? One Piece is pretty easy to grade from what I've heard. Well, that's good. Hearts, big hearts. One Piece waifu crazy. Might be Black Label worthy if the centering is that good. I'm serious, Turtle. I honestly, I don't know if it's Black Label good. That's the thing. Like, if I don't even know Black Label like that, but I know Beckett, and I feel like Beckett's pretty lenient, but that's also because they have all those subgrades to really get the perfect pristine or Black Label copy. So that's why it seems like Beckett's easy, but Beckett's not easy. Not if you want perfection, it's not easy. So yeah, I don't know, man. Damn, that centering is so close. I really would need to put this on a centering tool and really check in, but I usually am like, oh, this is so well centered, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm trying to be harsh on this one. The thing is, the way the lines are on the card, the top does look thicker than the bottom. But it's freaking damn close. It is damn close. I might do that. But either way, I mean, yeah, to get a black label, I wonder what the back has to be. The back isn't perfectly centered. The back is clean, but the back is off center. It's a little thinner on this side than this side. And I feel like a true black label is probably going to be like perfect all the way around, front, back. Yeah, I think I'm grading this Shanks. Damn it. I wish I would have sent it with the cards I just graded. The grading pile. Shanks just started the new grading pile. Shanks will be the first card in my new improved grading pile. Also, this magazine is pretty fucking badass. I have not read through a single PSA magazine. Honestly, this is making me want this card. PSA does a really good job of marketing this stuff that they want people to be into. The chick they got editing is doing a really good job. I didn't even read her name, but bro, Gundam? I didn't even know there was a Gundam TCG, bro. That's fucking badass. That is fucking badass. Bro, I gotta start looking into all these magazines, and that's why I'm keeping all of my PSA magazines. Damn, this is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, dude, PSA is legit. PSA, dude, you get so much value with PSA just in the information that you get from them, too. Keeping you up to date on everything. PSA is badass. Yeah, this is cool. This is a really cool magazine. Okay. I know, we need Haunter. We need something Haunter on the top shelf. They have a Haunter toy. They have a Jazzwares Haunter toy that's pretty sick. I wish their slabs were a bit more versatile. I definitely wish PSA had better quality slabs, but like when you start really stacking those against each other, the fact that they're a little skinnier actually makes perfect sense. It actually makes more sense, right? If they were really thick, bulky slabs, like they felt really good, that would be great. But storage-wise, it really wouldn't make sense. Having a massive collection means efficiency, and I will say PSA, I think, has the thinnest slab, which I think they get a lot of shit for, but that actually makes a lot more sense, right? Especially now with all these other protection, methods you can have, right? You can get all kind of slab mags and graded guards and what have you. Even the cheap Amazon like no brand guards that I buy, they're like $3. They're like $2.70 a guard, and you put a plastic sleeve over it. It looks the same as graded guard. It's way cheaper. So, and every dollar counts right now. I think people would much rather be buying their favorite cards than like a $20, $30 graded guard, which the whole graded guard thing is kind of crazy. And the Nebula is one of my favorite graded guards. It reminds me of Gengar a lot. I am really excited. By the way, this submission coming back, the large one, I am really excited. There's a Blastoise, there's a base set Blastoise in there. We got the legendary dogs in there, Pichu's in there. We got a Pinsir that I pulled from a jungle pack. We got the Chansey and Ninetales from the base set packs. Those will come back to us before my other base set cards come back that I pulled myself. That's pretty cool. We got the level X Gengar and level X Rayquaza. I think both of those are going to get graded, probably get like 7s or 6s, but I'm excited. And then all of my Salamence that I sent off. You guys, this is going to be hilarious to see how fucking wrecked I'm about to get. And then I sent 3 Dedenne, and I sent 3 Whale Lords. I'm hoping, I really want that Whale Lord from Journey Together in a 10. I really want the Articuno in a 10. Yeah, Journey Together is sick. I just don't fucking get it. Journey, I should just buy into Journey Together cases because I really like the set. I keep talking about it. It's clear that I have a lot of conviction with that set. Far Cards Gundam's first set just came out last weekend. Dude. Yo, so I kind of want to go off the deep end with TCG in general. Like, I want to get into Dragon Ball. Gundam is sick. One Piece is sick. Yu-Gi-Oh! I keep saying I want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! But vintage for Yu-Gi-Oh! Whereas, like, these other TCGs are still new. And that makes them kind of more opportunistic almost. You know, that first mover advantage is kind of cool. So I appreciate that, Far Cards, because that's news to me. There's thinner slabs, top loader sized at other companies. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I do think the top loader size would actually, that's the future. Like really, really strong, like basically like thin. I think that's definitely the future. And I think PSA will probably go in that direction. I'm going to be honest. They'll probably keep the same design and just slim it. That makes the most sense, right? Eric, Orion, you mentioned the Centering app. I developed that. If you or anyone in chat here wants a free code for premium, let me know. Definitely drop that in the Discord. Austin, also, I think you could hang up a channel banner across the top of the 5th shelf where it's empty. Ugh. Definitely could do something like that. That would be kind of cool. That would be cool. I'm with that. Definitely, the room is still barren, and that's the thing. Like, as time goes on, like, this is like when I first started the game room, it was very barren, and this is much less barren than that. But basically, and also, I'm going to bring in, I have a Red Bull refrigerator that I've literally just been using to store stuff in. But up here, I have an outlet perfect for it, so I will have the Red Bull refrigerator. People will think I'm sponsored by Red Bull, but it's going to be plugged in the back. I'm going to have my Diet Cokes in there. Kind of thinking about having a whiskey and Coke right now. I never really celebrate on any of the streams, and I'm super excited that everything is going well, and I knew it would. I'm really excited. Congrats on the new house, man. Thank you. Nathan Perry, I wanted to start 3D printing my own graded guards. Honestly, I don't know why someone hasn't already. It must not be super cheap to do, or someone would have done it. Obi Alex, Dragon Skill is a decent guard too. I'm sure it's the same. Poke Hideout, any interest in the Chinese exclusive Pikachu Gengar card? I think a lot of these exclusive cards are sick. Am I willing? You know, when we say, is there any interest? Of course there's interest. Am I willing to pay like the ultimate tax for that kind of stuff? No. There's so much that I still haven't gotten accomplished in English. Like, I can't even look at Japanese, really. I shouldn't have even bought the Yokohama deck that I thought was really cool with Pikachu promo in it. I really should have. One of my biggest regrets is not focusing more money on vintage English. And I really need to reel it in and be like, Orion, you are still completing goals. What's the next big card? Can we find it? Is there one on the market? Is it reasonable? Does it look good? Is it an old cert? Is it a new cert? Could it be doctored? Is it just old and it has a scratch, but it's a PSA 10? Maybe I can get a better deal on it because it's an old cert. These are the things that I'm thinking now that I need to stay on top of. And, you know, any minute the winds could change. They could shift, right? We could start seeing a lot of these cards that are 15, 20, 30 grand, boom, come back down to 12,000, 13,000, which is still a load of money. But I'm saying, like, is there any hope for the vintage grail Pokemon like market? Like, is there any hope for that? It's crazy, like level X cards. I think level X cards are sick, and I would love to get into those, but I'm probably too late now. There's a lot of cards that I feel like are becoming new grails. Sun and Moon tag team cards are now becoming vintage-esque grails. Like, I know those are going to do really well in the future. I know that where is it behind me? That Gengar Mimikyu is going to do really, really well in the future. Oh, look, we have a surprise guest. Diana's in the building. I'm literally not even being loud, babe.
I know. I was just.
I'm literally not even being loud. Okay, the boys got a lot of questions for you.
Oh, I'm tired.
How you liking the house?
I love it.
They were asking, are you any nicer to me now?
I'm plenty nice. Stop. I'm so sleepy. I have to go turn off the TV.
Okay.
And the baby monitor is downstairs. I just put him back to sleep.
Okay.
What you doing?
Nothing. We're just hanging out. I'm just ranting about.
I heard sun and moon.
Yeah, sun and moon. I really want that fucking Latios Latias. I could deal without the Umbreon Darkrai. I could deal without the Espeon.
Well,
Yeah. I know.
Does
I know.
Ryan snore at
I always
night?
have to catch up to it.
no, Ryan moves like a lot in his. Like he's like fighting people in his sleep.
I've got a lot of bad guys. I gotta keep tabs on.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and turn off the TV. You understand?
She doesn't know what I do in my other lifestyle, my alter ego.
Oh, stop it.
It's okay. You have your nice, perfect life here.
Why? You're so vanilla. Stop it.
Please don't do that.
Why?
Don't mess up my hair. My hair looks nice right now. You know how I feel about my hair.
So good. Look, see? It looks the same.
Okay.
It looks fine.
Okay, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this.
Come to bed. Okay, I'm gonna put the dog.
You need to go to bed.
I know, I'm like half asleep.
You are half asleep.
Hey,
I'm chilling.
stop eating me.
I'm having a good time.
Stop telling me to go to sleep.
This is the boys' night.
Watching such a good movie that you would absolutely hate.
Which means I actually might like it. What kind of movie is it? Is it a romantic movie?
It is.
Oh my god, that sounds good.
They're like driving Ferraris. And
that sounds
racing.
good.
But
I'll meet
it's
you
like,
down there in a bit.
No. Hey,
Okay.
can I get rid of me?
Okay. Alright, she's gone, finally.
Stop. Don't do that. You're mean to me.
Have you got a new milestone reward for yourself? It's 7.5K. No, there's no milestone reward. I'm ran dry. I have nothing to open. The only thing I have to open is if I crack open another thunderstorm box. And I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know. Maybe we'll open a booster box or something. I just don't know what would be worth it. Twilight Masquerade could be worth it. Temporal Forces maybe could be worth it to open a box up. Lost Origin would be sick. But yeah, I don't know. Dragon Ball is sick. Everything right now, Gundam is money just because it's kind of hard to get and it just came out. McDonald's Pika Burger gonna be hype. That's why I'm still focusing on holding modern and selling vintage SM cards. Little J just popping in to say congrats. You, appreciate you. Does Orion snore at night? Oh god, I'm so far behind. Yeah, fuck you guys. I have no base set left to open. I am gonna go bankrupt. Backroom, how we doing? When did the stream start? It literally just started. You're 28 minutes late, but hey man, you're here right on time. Yo, nice. Good to have you here. I am the best. Oh wow, that's guys. You don't even know. This is amazing. This is amazing to see someone who thinks I'm the best. Really got to get to know me first. You might not think that after a while. I'm okay. I'm decent. Backroom. I was like 35 minutes in your new video, but then I joined the Discord and I saw people saying there was a live stream, so I stopped watching and came here. Yeah, I appreciate it. What about the best of SV opening where you crack the Pokemon Center ETBs of your favorite sets and then send in the stamped promos for grading and maybe hit some nice 10s? Wow, that sounds very expensive, James. What, isn't the Pokemon Center 151 ETB like really expensive right now? God, that would probably be more expensive. I would rather buy the vintage packs. I would rather buy heavy vintage packs. Thank you. I know there's never enough chains. as I always say, or hairspray. But there's no hairspray right now. So I appreciate that because that means you think my hair looks nice enough that there could be hairspray in it. I'm a 30-year-old man, okay? My hair matters to me, all right? Let's be frank here. Um, any slab plays you're making with modern, like the cheap ones and such, not really. I mean, it's been harder than I thought to sell the nines. I mean, I thought it would go smooth. I get offers on stuff every day, which I should probably just take and let go of it. But I'm kind of like, a lot of the nines that I've sat on for a while now are worth more money. So even nines will go up and be worth something, and you'll be able to at least get your investment back and then a little bit extra. What I really need to do is I need to sell the extra tens that I have. The more I look at my modern slabs, the more I'm like, Ryan, you don't need all these, man. Like, you already appreciate a big chunk of modern and a big chunk of vintage. But something in my gut is just like, dude, Scarlet Violet era slabs, you need to stack those up, brother. You need to stack those up before it's too late. Stack those up, put them away. Then when we're halfway into the next era, Scarlet Violet slabs are going to explode. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely think it's going to get a lot harder to get these cards that are super cheap right now, like 50 to 100 bucks a slab. Get them now while you can. Trying with slabs to hold back for investment. It's always tough. I think it's just obvious. Like, the coolest Pokemon are not going to have any issue, right? The Greninja SIR from Scarlet and Violet Twilight Masquerade. I've got 3 of those Greninja SIR. That's one that I'm like, this is worth holding on to. Greninja's a starter. He's a GOAT. He's freaking sick. It's a ninja frog. I mean, what more do you want? So there's that. There's all the Zapdos I have from 151. I think there's a ton of potential on those. I have 3 or 4 other Charizard 151s in 9s. I have my 10, but I have a bunch of 9s. I'm going to hold on to those 9s until they're probably worth $300 or $400 because I definitely think that's going to happen at some point. I think with Sword and Shield era, we're seeing a lot of those 9s for popular alt arts. I just sold that Rayquaza for almost $220. $212 is what I sold it for. But like $212 for a PSA 9 Rayquaza V still seems crazy to me. Like, I remember when that card was like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Cheaper than that, maybe like, I don't know, 35, 40. Like, it was cheap. And really, to me, it was worth like 50 bucks. $200, more than $200 for that card. It's crazy. Now, the one that I sold was off center, but it was really, really clean. The back was really clean. Send your 9s to Prob Scene. In my honest opinion, you can usually get a slight premium, and it's easy. Hoogie Hideout, Legendary Dogs, Crown Zenith. Legendary Dogs, Crown Zenith, those are sick. The Legendary Dogs from Crown Zenith are sick. I do wonder if the high populations are going to hold those back. I did get one. I tried grading all of them, but didn't have any luck. We did get... Oh, it's back here. Oh, I don't want to fall over. Oh, God. I'm getting old. Think you're not getting old. You're only 30 years old, but nah, 30 is when you start feeling old. I did get this one Entei that came back as a 10. Yeah, dude. And the Entei's sick. Entei's probably my second favorite. Obviously, you guys know that the Suicune takes the cake all day. The Suicune Crown Zenith artwork takes the cake. But man, this is cool. The fact that I think I pulled this myself. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I pulled this myself and graded myself. It's almost like the respect factor of like, yeah, I did this myself, you know? Because I remember before I was definitely like, nah, if I have a friend submitting, I'll send with them, but I don't want to submit to PSA. I'd rather just buy all my slabs. But that's no way to live, guys. So much more fun taking the risk grading. The coolest Pokemon slabs are usually pretty priced in. Greninja EX SR at $750. I don't know how much more it'll run if I'm comparing it to selling it and grading more. Yeah, rolling that into more copies is great, but $750, I don't know. With how expensive everything else is getting, I think we could see a $1,500 Greninja EX. Or at least $1,000 in the near future. That is the card that I'm like not even worried about trying to get rid of right now. And it's just fucking dope to have 3 of them, and I love Greninjas. So, but like $100 to $200 plays seem worth it. Yes. So I'm really hoping this last submission I did. A lot of the cheaper cards, I really, really need PSA to cut me a fucking break on these cheaper cards. Like, I need them to come through with the gem mints on this one. And I'm sending vintage cards that I know are not going to get gem mint. So I'm hoping that they'll be whoever's grading will be more lenient based on the fact that there's such a wide variety of cards in there. And it's like, yo, you can be harsher on the vintage and be lighter on the modern. Anyways, do you play Pokemon Go? I do not play Pokemon Go. Just eat them all. Suicune V was around. No, like some of my grading has been egregious. Like I've definitely done really poorly in a lot of areas, but it's also still, it's part of my insanity. It's part of the learning process. It's part of me learning like, hey man, they're not going to hook you up on this. They're going to hook you up the bunghole for this because they only care about money. And honestly, if this card has any flaws, and you're sending this many of them, they don't want to make it that easy. They really don't. Now, if you are paying more, like Turtle pays for value or value plus, if you are spending good money and the submissions are tighter, it's a tighter spread, I do think that you can literally buy your way into better grades. Now, keeping in mind that you still are trying to pre-grade the cards and you're sending stuff that is gradable. I'm in no way saying like take a card that you're pretty sure is a PSA 8 because it's off center and it has a white dot and send that into PSA value plus thinking that you're going to get a 10 because you probably won't. Send in a card that has pretty good centering but white dot on the corner, overpay for grading, might work out. You might get a really good grade back. I can't help but like notice how successful Turtle has been in grading and thinking that that's somewhat connected to definitely paying them for their services and what they're worth. But why would it have any bearing? I mean, it's just grunts doing the grading anyways. Are people at the higher grading tiers, are they paid more necessarily? Or maybe it's certain people that have worked there for a certain period of time that get to be in the higher grading tiers. I would definitely like to know more of how that works. Somebody here probably already knows. Only ever had to open 2 ETBs of CZ to get the gold Tina. That's crazy. It's around 115. Okay, 115 seems like a good time for me to buy. I gotta get that Suicune. I got a random E-Series Rapidash Black Star promo and a 10 recently, non-hollow, but cool to get a 10. Dude, that is sick. I think any vintage 10 is something that you hold on to. You hold on to that. But at the same time, when you're running a business, it's kind of hard to have the luxury of holding on to stuff. You kind of got to get stuff moving. And that's something that I would do. The problem is for me with how much I already work, it's less effort to just sit on this stuff, right? If I was doing everything full time, I would be going to all the shops. I would be pre-grading a lot of cards. And I would probably not send crazy submissions, but I would probably start sending, like now that the Wi-Fi is good here, that's been another issue. Like printing out labels, doing all this stuff online, PSA, that stuff, using our printer, everything has been slow. And I think it's because our internet was so fucking terrible in the old house with Spectrum. So I wonder, and if everything is faster and smoother here in general, I'm probably going to start doing smaller PSA submissions just because it is way easier and kind of more fun to do a 15, 20 card submission, send it off, and you can send one of those every month. What if you got into a trend of sending PSA submissions, right? Which is probably what Turtle does. sending submissions every single month so that you always have a submission coming back to look forward to, and the money starts really revolving, and also your collection starts growing rapidly. I do have some cool stuff like the full art Salamence and a PSA 10 that I got recently. That was Obsidian Flames. There's like some random stuff that I've gotten in 10s that I love. I'm like, that's like part of the fun of grading. And I love the cards way more because they graded a 10, right? It makes them way more special than just having a full art, you know? I got back 274 cards over 8 bulk subs recently, sitting somewhere around 80% gem rate with it. All Scarlet Violet, dude. That's insane, bro. Insane. Topps Chrome is coming, man. It's coming, if that ship hasn't already totally sailed. The back room, I like BGS for the strict grader. Smaller team, more consistent. I collected PSA only for over a decade, but I like BGS more now. I like their cases and rewarding cleaner cards too. I will admit, I've always thought that the Beckett slabs were great. I like how they sleeve the cards in the case too. I don't like how some of the PSA cards, I like how some of the PSA cards look in the case. Austin, I blame Diana. You mean you gotta sell? No, I don't have to sell anything. Do you use AI to grade? I do not. I'm trying to get on board, but I'm dangling from the Titanic. I'm not against PSA. I just wish they sleeve the cards inside the case because I'm all about protecting cards. I will say that's an interesting point. I always like that about BGS too. Ultimately, a card sitting in a plastic slab is really not protected. It gets hit and dinged around, and they've tested this, but every slab is different. Some of them have a lot more space, and you can throw these things around. I do think there's micro damage happening there that's, you know, the untrained eye can't see, but under a microscope you can see there's clear damage happening every time this thing shifts or hits a wall. But, you know, I think that's more of an issue with vintage cards than anything because it's just fragile paper products. Versus something that's super modern. These cards are going to hold up fine over the years, especially if they're stored properly. Go to church. That Pokemon collects dust. The Pokemon does collect dust. That's usually what happens. It sits and we look at it and we cherish it, and it's awesome. I do my own church time when I'm in the bathroom on the toilet. Oh, I'm going to hell for that one. Oh man. I'm not religious, guys. I'm Jewish, but I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Spiritual. I think it's very important to be spiritual. Random question, but have any of your PSA cards ever fell off the shelves? Yes, and it is horrific. And I'm so glad we have carpet in here now because I never have to worry about that again. Yeah, it's terrifying to see a PSA slab fall and hit the ground and then chip is terrifying. I once had 3 PSA cards fall off my desk and still am paranoid that microscopic damage happened, but I don't see anything. It fell on my carpet. Yeah, the carpet took the trauma. uh, oh man, I'm going to hell. Oh man. Oh, you don't worry with carpet? No. I feel like it's so cushiony up here now. It's weird. I'm like still adjusting to this whole cushiony lifestyle. You should buy some Folex for your carpet. Dude, you are about this Folex, bro. You are on top of the Folex. Ajax, a lot of cool Jewish prophets in the Old Testament. Why don't you read the book of Daniel? He was a Jew and interpreted the dreams for kings. I could definitely interpret some dreams for some kings, for sure. Mainly drag kings at my bar, but No, I'm having too much fun. It's too late. I'm too brain dead. Um, I will say I'm a spiritual person, and if anybody pops in the stream and says something godly, I take that as a sign. The universe is looking out for me and saying, "Hey, maybe you do want to, touch base with your inner spiritual side and say, I will say right now, thank you, for everything. Thank this universe, and just I'm extremely grateful, and I do believe that there is an external force out there that's working for you if you are doing the right things. And I want to say that I'm doing the right things. Um, I had a foot cushion under my desk too, so it kind of hit that maybe too. That's probably what it was. Good night. Love you. My favorite character. No, you're not. It's not too late. I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate like not pushy godly people, right? It's people that are really pushy that I don't appreciate. But I feel like everybody probably feels that way. Jesus is Jewish too, right? True, true. I tend to forget that one easily. I'm a terrible Jew. Um, that's why the clap doesn't echo. It's not the same. It doesn't echo. It's still pretty good though. Uh, right. I forget about the Folex. No, you can't. It's impossible to interpret dreams unless it's a gift from God. No, you're not. You don't believe that. Good man. Good man. No, I hope I'm not going to a very hot, toasty place when my body turns to dust. Oh man, I don't even want to get into that, guys. The thought of like not being here in another 50, 60 years is honestly terrifying. But I guess by that time, well, you'll probably be like ready for it. I remember telling you the others fell through because of what was to come. That's right. And I've had a lot of people tell me like, dude, like that shit didn't work out because you were meant to do something else. And I gotta be honest, our setup now, this home, this neighborhood, it's all too good to be true. It just like it feels like a dream, man. It feels like a dream. Um, Same boat, dude. That's how I am. Um, yeah, God is definitely looking out for you and your family too. New house is a blessing. Of course, you work for it, but yeah, you gotta be like, you can't have such an ego. You gotta have some humility, right? It's good to be confident, but you can't have such an ego where you're saying like, no, I did all of this. This is all me, right? Nothing else has to do with why I'm here right now. The universe isn't, there aren't moving parts that are contributing, right? Like I definitely know that a lot of things have contributed to my success, and really a lot of people. And it's cool because only half of my income comes from the bar. The other half of my income comes from tips. So I really rely on tips. I really rely on other people. And for the most part, I've been taken care of by others. So it's a humbling thing to be in this house. And honestly, I don't think as a bartender, I don't think people would ever expect this is what I come home to. It's it's so straight up a movie. It's a movie. I'm living a movie right now. Um, but I had my trials and tribulations too. I mean, I invested all this money in this company that I've talked about on the channel plenty, and I lost it all almost. And now it's all skyrocketing again, and now it's coming right back down again. And so it's because of all that, I knew that I had to work and rebuild my savings and a foundation. And the fact that was buying Pokemon cards while doing all this is crazy, y'all. I will say, I would give myself some credit. I have an insane work ethic. Have you even read one book in the Bible? No, I haven't. Orion worrying too much about stuff that doesn't matter in the present. Dude, for real. Like, it's something that I need to work more at, is being more present. But like my ADD and my OCD, like, it's so difficult for me even to make videos, right? I want everything in a certain way, and I'm continuously trying to train myself and just be like, dude, none of this matters. Like, you need to get over yourself and get over thinking that any of it matters, because you just gotta enjoy it and get back in the swing of like, find what it is you're most passionate about in this hobby that has absorbed so much of your time. But lately, it just seems like a lot of people are more just depressive about the hobby and toxic with it. So I don't know, kind of hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel in the hobby right now. Watch Tuck Everlasting always helps me when I'm worried about death. One book, have you read one book in the Bible, Old Testament or New? No. Have you considered selling off some of your vintage collection, even if your goal is to collect? Money is still important, and you might be able to move it somewhere else before the market cools. I did think about selling everything except for my top cards, because I just so hard to complete it all. I thought about keeping my Crystal Lugia, Crystal Charizard, and Crystal Nidoking. Sell everything else. Shining Charizard. Don't go after all the Shinings. Just go after Shining Mewtwo and Shining Tyranitar. And then sell all of my first edition base set and literally just keep the Charizard. Because, like, I don't need the big three. I really only wanted Charizard. Charizard was the big one that I really wanted to have. So if I sold all those first edition base set cards, that would be a money play. But I'm also, like, not that far away from finishing that goal of having the entire first edition base set graded. That's huge. And I still have all of the commons and uncommons in one box of slabs. So that would be a really cool thing on the wall too, to have this huge display with first edition base set. But yeah, I definitely need to think of it. Have you lived in North Carolina forever? Did you move there later in your life journey? I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived in Charlotte ever since I can remember. So I've been here my whole life. Nathan Augustine said, if God affords these beauties to sinful men, then what does he have in store for those that love him? Trusting in Christ provides hope after this life. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's funny because I am closest with somebody that I work at the bar with, and he's a very godly man, like very Christian, and he's really an incredible person. And we're always having existential conversations, and I wonder if that's the great inner workings of life itself. Um, uh, right. Um, I sold it all, which wasn't much, to buy my girl a wedding ring. Just proposed last weekend. Congratulations, Nathan. And she loved it. I'm slowly going to be getting back into the hobby. Ugh. Oh man, I'm tired. Dude, congratulations, Nathan. That's amazing right there. And I'm super happy for you guys, and you'll get back to it when you get back to it, right? It's nothing that you're missing out on right now, honestly. And I think that's probably one of my most unique traits, is that, like, is deep into this hobby as I am, I know that it's not all there is to life. There's a whole lot more, and it's like fun to have the game room and then build this up and put stuff on the walls and have this like man cave essentially. But I know that there's way more out there. There's way more to life than this and the consumerism and materialism of it all. If we are going to get deep there, I appreciate you guys kind of bearing with me though, as far as like religion goes. It took me, this market seems ridiculous. I'm sure everything will see a 30 to 50% correction eventually. It's what we keep saying, and I can't wait for that moment where we can be like, All right. Yeah. Okay. People were being idiots and they were spending way too much money. And we knew that eventually people would rationalize um, not, going so crazy on cards. Um, instead of buying homes, instead of buying, some other store of value, Pokemon cards. I mean, we love this hobby, but did we ever believe it would get to this point? I don't think so. I don't think any of us saw this coming, really. Um, Thank you, Ajax. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, right. It's time. It's time. It's time. Opinion on money laundering. I've seen a lot of people speculating high-end sales with some money laundering. It's quite weird what's going on. Yeah, I would say there's a lot of money. I can promise you that there's money going along. Money going along. That there's money laundering. The thing is, people are always going to be skeptical of the government. People are always going to be skeptical of banks. People are always going to want an alternative. And it just happens that Pokemon is kind of maybe becoming that alternative, but that doesn't mean that it's clean, right? People are saying, well, hey, I can put, crazy bids on this. And if someone is willing to upbid me, that means that I can create that competitive environment. Right now, I think that we are seeing an all-time high of that kind of competitive environment. And it's with people that don't fully understand the implications of what they're doing. Like, they don't know that they are literally pumping up the market every time they decide to go a higher number that hasn't been done before. It does not mean they are going to create the new high. A lot of people think they are creating that new floor level, and they might. It happens occasionally. It happened when I bought the Crystal Charizard for 10 grand. That was honestly, that was the cheapest that was after that. You could not get that card for 10 grand after that. It was 11, then 12, then 13, 14, 15, 17, 20, 22, 25, 30 now, or something crazy now. So sometimes that does happen. But usually that happens when you're paying high prices when things are cooled down. How do we even know when the market is cooled down? I don't know. Like, how do we know that? I guess we have to see everything across the board. All of our favorite cards, we got to see them dropping in price. The problem is, because of a massive correction, right? A massive market correction. If that does happen, I think a lot of people would just say, wow, that's a crazy steal now for that card. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that would be like, look, I knew it when it was 15 grand. Now it's 11 grand. It's 10 grand for that card. I would consider buying that right now because it's a steep discount from where it was at. And I would be okay with even overpaying a little bit on some of these cards because I actually love these cards and I want these cards. So I'm even okay to overpay in a higher market. It's not even like it's the worst thing in the world. It's almost somewhat expected that it would come to this. I just hope, this is selfish, but I just hope that I can actually afford, if the market stays this way, I hope I can afford to just buy a couple of these cards left. But at the end of the day, if I don't, whatever. I love my collection. I have an amazing family. I have an amazing life. I live in an amazing home. I need to learn to just be grateful regardless what happens. But I do hope that things fucking chill out in this hobby because it's ridiculous. And I definitely think that in some fashion there is money laundering going on, but not in a criminal way, just in an obvious way that people are dumping money into something that doesn't fully make sense to them, or it does make sense to them, but they're not well educated on how the market's moved in the past, and so they're making very impulsive, expensive decisions with money that they may or may not even have. Danny, just remember when you sell, you will lose 5 to 15% in fees. So you do not need the money. Do not sell. No, for sure. Daniel Andrassy, hells yeah. Thanks for the live show, brother Ryan. Appreciate you, Dan. Dan is one of our first subscribers ever, which is pretty fucking cool. Worldly stuff isn't of God. I'm a millionaire because all I cared about was money for 31 years. Would trade it all for a wife and family. Yeah, and I definitely have friends that are that are very well off. I'm not going to say millionaires because I'm not sure. A lot of them don't talk about their finances, but that's something that I think we should be talking clearly about. It should motivate you. It should make you wonder, okay, if this person's doing it, I can do it too. I need to figure out how to do it. But I do have friends like that that kind of reinforce that as well. They're like, dude, like you have it all. Like you have two beautiful kids. You've got a partner who cares about you and like loves you unconditionally. Like, and even before we lived here, like you've got a home, like that's a home doesn't mean your house. It's just, it's where you are and how present you are with the people you care about. But yeah, I definitely get reminded of that all the time. They're like, that's what's important in life. And it's up here, which is why it's so hard for me to even wrap my head around everything that goes on in this hobby, because I know like there's that deep gut feeling that like, Orion, like you can touch base on these things, but you don't need to spend your precious time focusing on these areas of the hobby, right? So it'll be interesting the type of content I make moving forward. I'll definitely be peeping into the Discord and seeing what people are posting, what videos they're watching, and maybe even starting to watch YouTube videos more of people in this space and kind of getting a better idea of like, what are people talking about these days? Because I see the thumbnails, I see the comments, I briefly, look into people's watch, I like read the dialogue of videos. It just seems like a lot of negative, bad stuff lately. Yeah, some cards have gone up way too quick though, way too quick. No, it doesn't offend me. It does not offend me. I'm easily offended if you're coming at me just for no reason. That's offensive. But also, this is YouTube, so you got to be able to just brush people off. Like none of this matters to an extent, right? The negative stuff doesn't matter. The good stuff, I was telling people when I was locking up my bar, I was telling people like, I don't think you realize I've been doing this stream for years now. It's something that I very much look forward to, even if no one comes into my stream. It's kind of like a session where I just can like talk about things, and I know that there's no script, there's no idea, there's no topic. That's my favorite kinds of streams, the ones where we just like come up with shit basically. But in the future, we might have streams that are like dead set on talking about a certain thing in the hobby. Which tonight, if I were going to talk about something, it would be the fact that we need to come together as a community and express that we are not happy with the way things are right now. I feel like you just have such like a 50-50 split of people that are like, nope, you're going to have to get with the times. You're going to have to make more money so you can afford these sets, so you can buy all these products. And then we have people over here like, scalpers are everywhere. It's hard to get product. I cannot get it for even MSRP. This is not enjoyable. I can't go to the store and pick something up. This is not enjoyable, right? And then you've got, people in the middle that are like, no, you don't have to get with the times and make a bunch of money. You don't have to, I didn't even see what the messages were. You don't have to, you don't have to make a bunch of money, but you don't have to give up hope. You can find cards out there. Buying singles has continuously been the advice of the veterans, the veteran collectors. Buying singles has been the advice. But you go along with that, you add to that, and buying singles and grading those singles, taking another smaller gamble and learning from that process and getting better with it. That is a way that that's not going anywhere. That will always provide extra value that people cannot deny. They cannot say, well, I couldn't do that because this. They've made it so easy to grade. Card shops have singles all over the place that are grade worthy, that are being opened and brought in and sold immediately. It's amazing how good of condition some cards are at the card shop. Honestly, you would think that people bringing their cards in, they're copies that aren't gradable, but like my shops, some of them get some really nice grade worthy cards. Anyways, I'm just ranting to rant. A criminal way, do I think money laundering is happening? Potentially. Do you have any Pokemon art or paintings in your bar, or do you not involve Pokemon with work? For a while, I kind of brought Pokemon stuff to the bar. I don't anymore. That's something that I might want to think about again, but I kind of like to have that lifestyle completely separate from this lifestyle, right? Also, it gives me kind of an alter ego. It gives me another life that I get to live, right? I get to turn off that part of my brain that's thinking Pokemon 24/7. And I get to turn on that part of my brain that wants to talk to people. And these existential conversations of life and religion and death and all that good stuff. These are conversations I have at the bar with my regulars, or really my friends that come in and get drinks now that live nearby. It's pretty cool. I pretty much have conversations all night. And this is just another one of them. Rosie, what's your favorite card and least favorite? Have to pick. One of my least favorites in my collection, or just a least favorite card, probably Garbodor. Like anything Garbodor. Not just Garbodor, though. Garbodor is not even the worst. Snom is pretty bad. I'm sorry. Snom is pretty bad. Sandygast, the sand type Pokemon, man, if I have to pick one of the most horrible Pokemon, I think a sand Pokemon would be pretty bad. There's plenty of bad Pokemon. My favorite card. I think should come as no surprise to you guys. It's probably Gold Star Rayquaza. It's probably my favorite one. I don't even know what my favorite card really is. I will say, I bring this one up quite a lot lately, and I'm starting to think that the Fire Red Leaf Green terrible CGI artwork is one of my new favorite Grail cards. I would love to have this card in PSA 10, but I'm going to be happy with my 5. It's cool. I would even dare to say that Gengar might end up overtaking Rayquaza and Charizard. I really am starting to like Gengar. I don't know why all of a sudden, but Skyridge Gengar is a card I've always wanted. Since I came back in the hobby, that card's been on my radar. I've always known about Skyridge Gengar. Skyridge Gengar, that's always been a card that I eyeballed, but just put it off, and now it's really, really expensive. It's like $20,000. So I would love to get a Skyridge Gengar. That would be one of my new all-time Grail cards. Is private equity buying up the rare cards, you think? I don't think so. It's possible. Does your wife like Pokemon, or does she think you're crazy? She doesn't like it. She does think I am a degree of crazy, but I've done really well. In theory, a lot of the cards have gone up in value, whatever. But she just knows that I also sell stuff, and I take that seriously, and I definitely want to have a balance of money coming in and money going out, and there's way more money going out all the time as a collector than there is money coming in. That's something that I am getting a lot better with especially with grading, making sure that, hey, I get to keep some of these and then everything else gets sold. She hates how much time it takes away from the family, though, and it really doesn't take that much time away. But it used to take up a lot more time. These days I know things pretty well. I know what I like, so I don't need to spend all day on eBay. But I used to spend a lot more time on my phone, on screen, and that's not good. I'm curious what they do for the Annie. I want the new Blastoise SAR. Ugh. Yeah, we need to see more Blastoise. The 151 was a nice teaser, but I would definitely like to see more Blastoise artwork. More than likely, she will leave him and take half that Pokemon if he doesn't go to church. Dude can't fight, has no religion, and talks about Pokemon. Oh my god, this is comical at this point. Oh, brother. Oh, man. One thing about me is that when I find a woman that I deem worthy of my love and my attention, I make sure she's around for the right reasons. So, I don't want to get into our arrangements financially, but everything is in my name. So, it would be kind of hard to take anything from me. But I will always provide for my kids and Diana if anything happens. I'll always provide for her no matter where we're at. Guys, be respectful. Not everyone will accept pushing everything on them at once. I mean, yeah, definitely that. But like, also, there's some things that I can definitely respond to and like very seriously say like, that's kind of funny, but also on the serious note, not worried about anything. But I don't want to, humility. Don't be too cocky, right? I don't want to be too cocky. But if people put me in that position, I'm going to tell them, look, I'm the fucking shit. I know what I'm doing. I've gotten this far just fine. So, but, there's always that element of I appreciate where I'm at today. And that wouldn't be possible if it weren't for a lot of good people and people that I've crossed paths with. Thoughts on the Galarian Slowking V Altart PSA 10? I mean, I have that one. It's not going anywhere. It's staying with me. I think that any of his artwork is absolutely phenomenal. And I think it's the same reason that Seismitoad is going to be trouble. What's that illustrator? I'm literally blanking on that illustrator. It's okay. I don't remember everything at 1 a.m. perfectly. But the illustrator that did that Galarian Slowking, I know Komiya, I'm sorry. Let me see. I don't think anybody got it in the stream yet. Wow, I'm really that far behind. God damn. Sorry guys. I'm just going to scroll all the way down. Down to win. How do you suggest offloading cards? eBay. I would definitely do eBay. All right, let's just scroll all the way down. Sorry, guys. Blastoise is my fave Pokemon. I'm super picky which art I like of Blast. Yeah, Blastoise is sick. I have the first edition Blastoise. I guess, so I did put all my first edition cards and my Grail cards away. I decided it wasn't worth it for the natural light to be hitting those cards. But everything modern, and I'm still going to be putting up vintage cards. It's just not going to be those cards. But I do have a first edition Blastoise in PSA 9. It's pretty dope. I normally love Arita's cards, but I actually wasn't a big fan of 151. 151 fell short in a lot of ways. Let's just be honest here. Like, yeah, the evolution lines were sick. Was it exactly what we were looking for? No, absolutely not. Destined Rivals also fell short. Amazing artwork in that set, right? The Galarian Rapid, or not the Galarian Rapid, the Rapidash. The Rapidash is absolutely sick. You've got that Mewtwo, the Nidoking. Is it everything that everyone expected? No, but it has some really great cards. I feel like it's been hard for Pokemon to hit the nail perfectly on the head, though. And it's hard to see through the hype right before a set comes out or right after it's been released. What's a rule that you can give us on selling some of your collection? I tend to keep everything and not want to let go. Any tips? Poke Hideout, I can't give you tips on letting go of stuff because it's hard for me to let go of stuff. And it's not just that like, oh, I just love Pokemon more than everybody else. It's not that. It's more just like the fear of like, what's going to happen here with this card? If I still value it this much to not sell it right now, how are other people feeling about it? Like if a whole community, and this is kind of what's happening in Pokemon, people are coming together and saying like, damn, this art is really good. I'm not even going to sell it. I don't want whatever the market says it's worth. I'm going to hold on to it for a really long time. Hoarding is kind of your friend in Pokemon a little bit. A lot of times you can find yourself shocked at how much stuff goes in value over time. I wish I had my freaking spinny chair. It would be way more comfortable than this wooden chair. But we still have some things we need to bring over to this house from the old house. One being I need my desktop computer table, my other table, and I need my office chairs. I need to get those. Um, but yeah, man, that's a good question. Ozzy's ghost thinks I'm a virgin, which is hilarious. I would for sure. I love that I give off those vibes though. That's good. I want to give off those vibes. That's what we're going for. I would for sure get blinds up, maybe just open when the sun isn't coming in or when filming. Yeah, when filming for sure. And then the rest of the time just have the blinds closed. Like, I don't need to go crazy. They don't need to be blackout blinds, but like definitely something to block direct light. And I will say the direct light never hits exactly on the shelving. Usually the direct light hits like on the floor right before it creeps up to the shelving. It's almost like the way the sun comes down and goes up, it never is right on the collectibles. So I will say, I don't think I have to worry about that too much, but definitely something to keep in mind. Dude, the Mega Absol, just, I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with that one. I'm not liking it. 151 Blastoise background wasn't interesting. I would rather him be swimming in a colorful reef. Different pose too. I will agree on that one. I think we both agree on that one. But I will say there is something very eerie about Blastoise deep in the dark depths. You know, I think it was supposed to give off those vibes that, hey, if you're scuba diving and it's dark, you're not worried about a great white. You're worried about a Blastoise coming from the depths of the ocean. That's what that Blastoise kind of was to me. We got kind of that colorful, playful style, not playful, that colorful, vibrant artwork. We got that with Venusaur, and I feel like very lucky that we at least got the Venusaur. The Cleanosaur, I feel very lucky we got the Venusaur. And that card, that 151 Venusaur made me really appreciate the fact that I have the first edition Venusaur. And now I'm even more pumped that I pulled a base set Venusaur myself and sent that off to get grading. No, it's not Blastoise. No, it's not Charizard. But I pulled it myself, a base set Venusaur. You just missed this channel by like a week, brother. Like 1 week ago, I opened 5 base set packs. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was awesome. And they are off to grading. But yeah, the Mega Absol, I just can't do. Eli, I like the Ethan's Ho-Oh, the best out of Destined. I think a lot of people feel good about Ethan being in the cards with Ho-Oh and Typhlosion. But really wasn't. I'm not keen on the characters, and I just really would rather just more of the focus be on the Pokemon themselves. I've been saying this from the beginning. I don't know if my tastes will ever change. Even some of the slabs that I have that are PSA 10 with trainers in the card with the Pokemon, I'm kind of thinking about selling them because I'm like, dude, this is not you. Like, don't hold on to something that's not you. But I'm also like, there's potential here, though. Why don't you let these cook and see how they age? Anyways, Turtle, I'm honestly so hyped for Emmy base set. Even though I won't be able to open it, the singles look awesome. Legit, it looks like an upper tier set. I will keep that in mind for sure. His persona screams insecurity. That's why he talks about Pokemon nonstop. Yeah, I mean, you probably have something right there for sure. I am a very insecure individual. I won't beat around that bush. I mean, it doesn't take a psychologist to figure that out. I mean, look at me. I'm dripped down. Does it not look like I went to a school where kids seem to have everything, and maybe I wanted that as an adult? Maybe I'm trying to prove something. I think there's so much you could look into there. I'm not mad at it. Derek Cam, I'm gonna miss you yelling, guys, quiet. Yeah, I know. Now we don't have to deal with the dogs barking in the room next door. It's gonna be freakishly quiet now. Oh, how the times have changed. Markaba, rank the trios of starters. That's so much work, bro. That's so much work right now. And to be honest with you, I think Gen 3 is pretty good. I think I might have to put Generation 3. It's between Generation 3 and Generation 1. Yeah, I gotta give it to Generation 1. Dude, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. You can't beat that trio. You cannot beat it. I don't like the Mega Absol. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. We are allowed to disagree here, though. Yeah, I just, ugh. And I love Absol. Like the Crown Zenith Absol, I think is incredible. I'm like, why is that one so underrated and undervalued? Um, the Batman vibes, the dark lighting is perfect. I do think the moon behind him would have made it even better. True, I feel that. You said his cheeks. I don't know what that means. Is it because you don't like megas? It's not that I don't like megas. Like, I can get behind some megas, right? I can get behind it. I can appreciate good art. I just, maybe I don't like the Mega Absol. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know how I could like some of these cards, right? The prehistoric Raikou, the giraffe Raikou, I mean, I can't really like that either. So it's probably just a preference thing. Um, what do you not like about the Mega Absol? I just think that traditional Absol, design-wise, just is so much better looking. Mega Charizard, kind of cool, kind of adds to it. Mega Blastoise, okay. Mega Venusaur, all right, not too different. I think the Mega Absol just starts to not look like Absol anymore to me. I only like the trainers if they look epic with the Pokemon, but I prefer the Pokemon only. Jose, I pulled the Greninja SIR last year when I got back into the hobby. Had to sell it to pay for an unexpected vet visit for my dog. Dude, sorry to hear that. That sucks. I got a car in the shop right now, and honestly, if I sold a Evolving Skies booster box, it would literally only pay for that car to get repaired. So I know it's different. This is an animal that you really care about, but I definitely can relate with having to sell stuff to deal with other stuff. I'm just perpetually flexing. Pull out that Rayquaza Gold Star and finish this. Fortress is about to cream to my Rayquaza Gold Star. No, I'm just kidding. I basically, yeah, I went to a private school as the poor kid, basically. I mean, compared to these kids, yeah. I was the only one that had a car that broke down in the parking lot. So like my dad has a theory that the jewelry and the flex, as we like to call it, my dad, the jewelry is like the compensating of whatever. The same deal with the fast cars, same deal with the big house. It's all, compensating in some way. But I also, there's a very real part of me that like believes in enjoying shit while you're alive. And I mean, when I get older, I'm never going to wear this stuff. It's not going to be appropriate when I'm 68 years old, right? But I'm young right now. I get to look fly right now. I can't do that when I'm old, So it's like, you only live once, man. Buy the shoes, buy the car, buy the gold bracelet, buy the snazzy glasses. Do what makes you happy, as long as it's not to the detriment of other people that you care about. And the kids weren't terrible that I went to school with. They had a lot, and I think that weighed on me heavily. Yeah, the prehistoric Pokemons are nonsense. Adventure Griffin, can I ask you something? Oh boy, shoot. When will this hobby, there you go. When will this hobby become healthy again? Man, dude, you're asking the wrong person. I wish I had that answer. No, I just think it's a vicious cycle. I think people are gonna come into this hobby. They're gonna think it's gonna be this fun, great thing that they're gonna make money from, that they're gonna invest in. They're gonna get burned. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna want to quit after they make those mistakes. It's the people that stick around and learn from those mistakes or those failures that everybody as a collector has made them. There's no collector that has come in and done everything just right in this hobby. And if they have, they probably have a lot of money to do so, because starting to build your collection from scratch and with a little bit of money is a challenge, and you will face hardships and failures and setbacks. trying to buy your way into a collection is a totally different mindset, right? It's a mindset that I enjoy very much. I enjoy being able to just buy the cards that are nice, that are highly sought after, that are very hard to get, that are damn hard to pull, that you might not even get if you open a whole booster box, right? I love that mindset, but I feel like equally it's important to learn how to grow your collection the hard way and the challenging way. And I think, that's what's got to happen for the hobby to be healthy again, is people have to go through that cycle of failure and say, all right, I am not going to overpay on these singles. I am not going to overpay for these graded cards, because these people literally just found these cards or pulled them and then they got them graded and they're worth all this money. I think people really need to understand the inner workings of this hobby better before diving straight in. And even I, as a several year collector, still dive into certain cards and still buy shit that I should not be buying. I make those mistakes. It happens. You just got to give yourself grace all throughout the way. You got to give yourself grace. But yeah, could never go back to the way it was. Buy the vintage Pokemon slabs, which strangely worked out, right? I don't think any of us saw, like, I was really thinking that I was going to be the idiot that overspent on vintage cards and that everything in modern would just crazy. It has been a reality check for sure, because we don't take any of this stuff with us when we leave. Absolutely. As long as you don't affect others, just hurt yourself and you hurt your surroundings by proxy. Live a life of God, not of Pokemon and being a wank. Are you from Great Britain? Who says wank? Who says wank? Am I a wanka? I'm a wanka. I don't know. Pokemon are pretty demonic. Dude, so I had a friend, his mom wouldn't let him, super Christian household. His mom would not let him play Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! But we could shoot each other with BB guns all day long. It was hilarious. My parents would get so mad when I come home with like red marks all over my face. Pick a TCG, how we doing? Was it ever healthy? Was it ever healthy? Was buying into the gamble that is Pokemon ever healthy? I mean, dude, if we're gonna get like full-on religious with it, I would say that Pokemon is like pretty goddamn sinful because of the amount of trash it creates, the gambling, the addiction parts of it. I mean, psychologically, guys, we could really bite off more than I can chew right now, because it is way past my bedtime. And I'm not going to bed. I'm going to go play some Call of Duty because we got killer Wi-Fi now. But it's been an amazing stream. But I mean, on that note, I can tell you guys, the hobby was never really good for people, right? But the childhood memories, playing Game Boy, if you've never played a Game Boy when you were a kid and your parents were having a fight in the car and your sister was bullying you, the sound of turning on that Sapphire or Emerald or Ruby version or Fire Red or Leaf Green and playing and catching your Pokemon and fucking crushing all the other trainers, that is something that I think defines my love for Pokemon, is really the Game Boy games and those experiences. And so that, by association, Pokemon for me is very therapeutic, and for a lot of people is therapeutic and nostalgic. But it's no excuse for the behavior in the hobby. I mean, shit, dude, people fucking fighting for Pokemon cards, people robbing each other, stealing. Guys, the way we're headed right now in this hobby, people are going to be holding each other up at gunpoint at the next shows. Like, I would not even be surprised if that happened in Charlotte. There might even be a reason that I'm going to miss this year's Collecticon, like a good reason. Because for the life of me, I can't understand how it is that I could have a beach trip with my family, and it's on the one goddamn day that we have a fucking convention here. It pisses me off so much. But it is what it is, and I say, you know what? This is happening for a reason. When is the turning point of the hype, do you believe? Collecting over 20 years never used to be like this. That is something that we need more in this channel, though, and the Discord, is people that are OGs that have seen it all. Because that's the only way you know how things have always gone. It's people that have been in this hobby a long time. And for about 15 years, since 99, 15 years went by. Not a blip on the radar. A lot of these cards were always cheap, 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 cheap. Now, granted, people are making a lot less money. People are making more money now, or people aren't making more money, but money is just worth a lot less. So that's also factored into the price of all these crazy cards. Also, can you change the focus to not blur on your background so heavily? I mean, yeah, I can change it to just regular video. People might like that more. Harry Potter was bad. Pokemon are not demonic. Even the anime, Misty even held a cross in an episode. I hate when people say Pokemon is demonic. It's not at all. Oh man, yeah. God help you, really. Yeah, this is weird. And you know, in another way, I just tolerate way too much. I tolerate way too much on here. Yeah, Turtle pretty much hit the nail on the head, though. Dude, this is crazy. How can someone even be religious and like basically it's amazing to me. Yeah, we gotta open a Pokemon casino. Maybe you're Michael, Hanan blowing each other. What? What is going on? Broski, what is your most expensive thing you have of Pokemon? My first edition Charizard, for sure. Let me get in the next line for that Flowey. Oh my god, this is too good. Oh, I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry for this odd stream. Prince Slap, congratulations, man. Super motivated by you. Wish nothing but the best for you and the fam. Yeah, I appreciate that. I could use that good energy. I will say, guys, while this is a very heated debate about religion, I came here to chill with the boys and talk Pokemon for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We're an hour and a half into the stream, so I hope people enjoy that hour and a half of wild content. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for another video, and I should definitely go to bed, but I think I'm gonna play some Call of Duty and murk some guys. So anyways, peace out, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure getting closer to all of you and closer to God himself tonight. I have some serious reflecting to do, and I definitely will write down in my journal some things I've got thinking about. Anyways, thank you guys for popping out for the stream. I know it was a late one. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!